And I'm Mika Miyashima. Domestic violence is something that happens behind closed doors. The current court feud between actors Johnny Depp and Amber Heard has domestic violence making headlines.
And while the Hollywood case shines a light on the issue, many incidents go unreported, especially those in which men are the abuse victims. KITV4's Jefferson Tyler joins us live with details on a largely hidden problem. Jefferson.
Well, the Domestic Violence Action Center says that in March it provided services to 387 people and only 5 were men. The Honolulu Police Department says that violence cases with men as a victim largely go unreported, and that is a problem. One man told me that this issue touches more people than you might expect.
I honestly broke down in tears.
The journey from domestic violence victim to survivor for Kiai Neff has not been an easy one. It took him 2 years just to get a restraining order against his significant other. He has stories of epileptic seizures being triggered by fights.
I would find myself on the floor. I would ask to go to the hospital, but I wouldn't be in a mental state where I could summon the hospital or I could summon the ambulance myself. And he would not.
Neff is part of a small demographic that is rarely mentioned in discussions about domestic violence, the male victim. A national coalition against domestic violence says in 2020, 34% of women and 24% of men in Hawaii experienced domestic violence or stalking.
I've had the police tell me that you're bigger than him. And that's damaging.
National statistics say that only 15% of cases involve men as victims. There are victims out there who are gay, straight, or another lifestyle choice. Neff says that his relationship started off in a much different place than where it ended.
It began with isolating me from family and friends to control my environment, to control my finances. And to, in fact, separate me from my guide dog.
It's really about the dynamics of power and control.
The Hawaii State Coalition Against Domestic Violence says that often the abuser, no matter what sex they are, tries to control every aspect of the victim's life. Another aspect comes into play for the male victim.
There are definitely barriers to disclosing, some of it having to do with stigma and definitely some gender stereotypes.
Neff says that stereotype is not based on the reality of the situation.
It lives with us. We might move on with our lives, but those memories never go away.
Now, Neff told me part of the solution was finally finding out that there is help out there. If you're a victim, report it and find out what agencies are out there that can help you. Jefferson Tyler, KITV4 Island News.
Jefferson, thank you. And anyone can be an abuser. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, one study found 90% of abusers have no criminal record and are generally law-abiding citizens in public. So how do you spot an abuser? According to the coalition, here are some red flags. They can show signs of extreme jealousy and possessiveness, be unpredictable, verbally abusive, blame the victim for anything bad that happens, and control all aspects of the victim's life. Again, these are just some of the signs. And there is help out there for anyone facing abuse. If you or anyone you know is going through this, call the numbers that are up on your screen. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-7233. You can also get help locally from the Domestic Violence Action Center. Just call 531-3771 or text the 24/7 hotline. That number 605-956-5680. These numbers and more resources are posted to our website. Just search Domestic Violence Help.